Hello, CinSanity, and welcome to this episode of our podcast. Last time we had Byron Womack on, we talked a little bit about duck hunting, but we invited him to come turkey hunting, so we figured why not do a hunt recap? So we are bringing Byron back on today. We're going to talk about how we got our tails whooped on day one, but we smoked them on day two. We're going to talk a little bit about gear, and we're going to talk a little bit about what consumers can expect out of companies with these new tariffs in place. So what do you say we get this thing started? All right, boys. We did our turkey hunt, as we mentioned last time we had you on, Byron. We got our tails whipped on day one. It was not good.
I think the funniest thing for me was
the hill sprints with Graham.
the first day or the first night that I got there. He said, "Well, we're gonna be walking, boys," and I said, "I need a good workout." And buddy, were you not joking at that? I think me and Graham ended up walking like 22,000 steps that day.
I think that's a lot.
Well, yeah, but Jay, it's like you and I talked about last night. Like, we could sit there and play peekaboo with a bird for 2 hours and not call aggressively and stuff, but I turkey hunt that way because that's how I want to turkey hunt, and that's fun. Like, hey, if this bird ain't doing it, let's move on and go find another one because we can and see if he's doing it. Like,
oh, yeah.
I don't want to make it boring and sit around and wait. I could do that, but it's just not my thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the biggest thing that I noticed is you're not hurting on how many turkeys you have on that farm.
No, and you saw Jay's place. It's no different. So we can afford to be aggressive and kind of hunt how we want to hunt.
Yeah. That makes it more fun anyway, more exciting, running gun style rather than deer hunting.
Yeah, I mean, we had, we'll call it 4 teams of guys out that day spread across 3 farms, a total of probably 1,500 to 2,000 acres, and not one of us even worked a bird, really. I mean, I guess Steve-O and Jeff Lindsay, they kind of worked that bird, but he didn't come off his perch on top of that hill. And we all came back with our tails tucked between our legs. But I think that was proper motivation for the next day.
Yeah, no kidding. It was, I don't know, Jay, you made up you probably said something that sparked a light bulb, went off in my head, that day we killed them because it was cold, it was crisp, felt like the pressure was down, humidity was low. That first day that we hunted, it felt muggy outside, it just didn't feel right, for the birds. But it's been like that for everybody that I've talked to this year. I mean, it's tough. Birds are excited right off the limb, and then once they hit the ground, they just kind of shut up. But when you talked about getting mad at them, buddy, yeah, you got fired up.
Yeah, it takes about 3 minutes before I start getting mad at them.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
But yeah, I've just noticed over hunting them, man, is like them cooler, crisp mornings. Yeah, even the frost, like they just hammer. Like, and that first morning you could tell it was muggy out. They just don't. I don't think they.
Well, it was windy too.
Yeah, but it was windy the second day. But it's just, I just think they don't like it. Like, they feel sticky and, they just feel like I was telling Byron, I was like, man, like days like where it's sunny and clear, like, and you feel good as a person, like, you just have a better day. I feel like the animals react like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're just more active.
It's different.
You could definitely see it too. I mean, it was, they were excited the way they were running up to us, and even that bird when we were taking a picture, I don't think he stopped gobbling.
Yeah.
No, he gobbled a lot.
So let's start at the beginning with that one. So we got our tails whipped, a whole group of us, on Mondays. So that'd been a week and a half ago. By the time people hear this, probably 2 weeks. Then the next day, Jay and I got mad at him, said that's it. What time did you guys kill that morning, the first one?
6:45, 6:50.
Yeah, it just
early.
flew. Yeah, it flew down, and 2 of them flew down, and spirits were low. Like, we got all, everybody was a little dragging. I was guilty too. I was like, but my buddy put some to roost for me, and I just told Byron, I was like, man, they usually come out back in this corner. So we just headed back there, and there was a bunch of birds gobbling. probably 5 or 6. And, he was, I was still iffy. Like, none were real close. I was like, they'll probably maybe work in here. I heard a gobble, and Byron, I could tell Byron didn't hear this, the one I just heard. And he's looking, and I was like, man, it sounds like it's in the field. Like, it wasn't close to us in the field. It's a big field. And I was by a big tree. I just eased my head up and look out there, and there's two strutting. I was like, oh, okay, so we're in the game now. Like, so I got Byron's attention. I was just like, fans out here. There's 2 of them. And they came. I mean, Byron can tell you, like, he got to see most of it. I had a bush once they started. Like, once I knew they were there and I was just listening to them gobble, I couldn't see them very well, but he was ready.
Yeah, I'm not, turkey hunting it's all pretty new to me. I've, grown up being a waterfowl hunter. So, getting into this industry, you kind of have to, you got to do it all. And, I've shot a couple turkeys, throughout my career and lifetime, but I get just as excited every time, seeing a turkey come strutting in. But no, I honestly think that I was asleep at the time that bird was gobbling in the field up against the tree. And, Jay whispers over to me. He's like, psh, psh, throws his fan out. And I'm like, oh, man, really? And so, those birds it sounded like they were kind of working all the way around the edge of the field. And then Jay started cutting on his call and, man, sounding like an excited hen. I mean, it was natural. And you could just hear him gobbling. The gobbling would get closer and closer and closer. And then I kind of adjusted around the tree because, like Jay was saying, that bush was straight in front of him, was to my left. So I kind of tried to peek over and see, and here they came running. And so I kind of pulled my gun up. I don't know why I do this, but I started getting kind of the shakes on it. And it was two toms. And so I was like, man, we're about to double up. It's going to be awesome. I let him get all the way within close to the decoys, not thinking about Jay's shot right in front of this bush. And, I crumbled that first one that I had and didn't hear a second shot. And I'm like, I look over and poor Jay's kind of behind that tree.
That's all right.
And so I felt horrible, man. I was like, oh my gosh, we had an opportunity to double up, and we didn't double, but there's a reason why we didn't double up.
We still got another one. It was just right after that we found a different turkey.
Yeah.
How far did you go to get on that second group?
The second turkey?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like distance-wise, probably like half a mile maybe. It wasn't very far. We just jumped in the truck and went down to another field. There were some dudes that were roofing the farmer's barn from all that wind we got, and I saw them the day before, and they're like, man, there's a huge turkey. He's out here every day. So I told Byron, I was like, they said there's been one out here every day. So we pulled up there, and you could see him out there strutting. And I've killed a lot of turkeys where he's at. It's just like he's in a very vulnerable spot as far as like getting like in within. You can get right on top of him without him knowing. And he, of course, he had hens. We didn't see the hens, but he had hens. And me and Byron just jumped down into this creek. I just brought my fan, and we just jumped down this creek and rolled around and came up this little, like, I had him marked. I know where he's kind of at. Came up on this knoll, and we're sitting there looking. I was like, man, he should be out in this field. I didn't see him, and then a couple of deer came running. I was like, they're going to mess this whole thing up. Well, they caught our wind, so they stopped before they got to the turkeys, and they just turned around and left. But we're creeping through there, and I'm standing up, like, looking, and all of a sudden I just see the top of his fan. He's like 30 yards. I was like, oh. And, he had hens with him, so I just sat down with that decoy and made my way up towards the log. And then I had my gun in one hand and just my reaping decoy in the other hand, and I just made some yelps so he'd look at me, at least to get his attention. And I yelped over, and he spun, and I just had that fan up and that gun, and he came to, like, I don't know, 8 yards. I shot him with the little 20. I have a little youth model 20 gauge because it's light and I can hold it in my hand with one arm. So I shot him one-handed.
It's okay.
But
You can tell people you hunt with that because you're a short fella.
I shot that one today with my 12. Sarah had the 20 gauge today.
Oh man, what a fun trip though.
It
Dude.
was fun. Had a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
but what was special about that bird, homie?
Oh yeah, yeah. I forgot.
uh,
It had 4 beards, and there was 39 3/4 inches of beard. So they were.
and you forgot. That's
I
convenient.
I didn't. I mean, I did forget. That's like I was just talking about the turkey, but yeah, it's just a big old gobbler. And I found that like the every turkey that's in that area is usually the biggest one, and they're
And they're
always a
easy to
lot.
kill.
Well, they're not easy to call in. You have a very hard time calling in a big boss tom like that. But you can with a fan out, like you could set up with a strutter decoy out there, and he'd probably get him. It's just where they roost, man. They roost right on. It's hard to get to them in the dark. You'd have to come in pitch black. But just those bigger turkeys, man. They always have hens. They're usually kind of isolated from the other toms, and he's a 26 pounds, 4 beards, 1.25 inch hooks. So I mean, he's a big old turkey.
Yeah, what do
So
you think causes it? You think that's genetics that just
I think it
how?
is.
Yeah,
Or maybe age. I don't know how old a turkey like that is. I have, I know what a Jake is, and then a 2-year-old bird. Then after that, you just kind of in the wind, man. I think it's genetics because I've killed another 4 bearded turkey off that same farm, like 400 yards from where I shot that one. So I think there's just some genetics down there where they have multiple beards.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, Byron. Did the farms live up to the hype?
oh, absolutely. I mean, so that's my first time kind of even experiencing anything in that region of the United States, and uh, just the rolling hills, and I mean, it's beautiful. My first day I was there when the sun started coming up, I was like, wow. I mean, this is pretty. I would live up in here if I had an opportunity. But yeah, absolutely they did. I mean, just from how my turkey season the past 2 years have been, uh, being able to hear as many turkeys as we did and getting the opportunity to kill one, it was awesome. And being a part of, the 3 hunts that we had within that one day, that was
Yeah.
Oh, I guess we didn't get to the third bird that day, did we?
not yet. That was one of the most exciting ones, and it was, you learn more about hunts like that. You learn how to turkey hunt, how to set up, where to set up, when to call, and it's a big learning experience for me.
Well, that's like so. The third bird we're talking about, I was taking pictures of these two with their birds, like literally right next to my cabin, in the middle of taking pictures. One of them gobbled, so I'm trying to scramble, get my stuff on as fast as possible. Long story short, move out one way, call. One starts gobbling, but then there was another one gobbling, and we were getting confused. Like, is that the same bird? Is he over here? Is he over there? We ended up working around. I mean, once we slipped into the woods on him, it's like, uh-oh, he's coming, and it was done in 15 minutes. I mean,
Yeah.
12:30, we're taking pictures, 15-minute hunt, bang. Now, that's how those farms usually are, like mine and Jay's. It's just, that's where everyone goes, how you hunting around here? Do you hunt in the afternoon? I said, yeah, from the cabin. I sit here with the windows open, and if one gobbles, I put my stuff on and I go. Otherwise, I ain't got no need. I mean, I'm not going to go sit out there. I'm not saying I wouldn't. We're just fortunate enough to have the opportunity to have property like that where you can do that. So that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I tell you what, though, this morning, sitting in that ground blind was nice. Like, all right.
Now you know why I started in ground blind, dude.
And I had one of them, like, rocking chairs. I don't know what they're called. They, like, kind of rock a little bit. And, had me a nice warm cup of coffee. I drove my truck out there, had me a nice cup of coffee. It was a gentleman's hunt this morning. Well, I'd take my wife, so she likes to be comfy. And she'll go and run and gun, too, but that blind, next year there'll be one there sooner. The weather's been so bad I had to torn it up.
Yeah.
I don't know. Byron, what I did is me and her went out there, I don't know, a couple of days ago, and the turkeys would fly off that front hill down in that field, like I was telling you, and they're always down there. And they did it just like geese. They came down and landed in the same field as us, and we're sitting in a fence row. and we couldn't get a shot at them, and they didn't come all the way to the decoys. Well, you know how them weeds are out there because the farmers hadn't had a chance to spray yet because of all the rain. So yesterday I had my lawnmower with me. I drove out there with my lawnmower and a ground blind, and I mowed a circle, like I don't know, probably a 30-yard circle out there. Mowed it flat like grass, and then I mowed runway strips out in the field, so they could see the decoys this time, and then they had a nice clean path to walk down. Well, this morning, same thing. And I set the blind up, and this morning we're sitting in there, and there's probably 4 or 5 going crazy up there, triple gobbling, and it was pretty light out. Like, I was like, man, they might not fly down here, Sarah. Like, and all of a sudden, here come 2 pitched down in this field, and we thought they were jakes. I was like, I don't know, that didn't look like gobblers. And all of a sudden, they looked down, they could see them decoys, and their heads turned white, and they started strutting. I was like, oh yeah. I was like, they're gonna come, and those suckers walked right down that mowed path, right in front of us, just perfect, man.
That's awesome.
You know we're gonna get roasted by people for doing stuff like that.
Mowing a path for your turkeys?
Yeah.
You clean your trails for deer hunting, don't you? That's the difference.
So
that's right.
So let me ask you this. All right, so Jay and I learned some stuff on that hunt. I want to ask you, Byron, first though. What do you think you kind of picked up? What did you learn? You said you learned some new stuff about turkey hunting. I mean, you talking about calling, like when to call, cadence, what? Just curious.
Yeah. I would say more setup than anything. I would say from the time like where we located him, we walked down the road, we went in, and we noticed that probably wasn't the best path to take to get to that turkey for him to work his way up to us. Then we went back around and kind of got to where, it was a better position for us. I think that was probably the biggest thing that I learned. That, and I would say when to call. I would say, not over calling because he was searching. And then he's going to gobble more trying to locate that hen. So I think that was the biggest thing that I learned.
Yeah, because like a lot of it, we're lucky enough we know the terrain on our farm. But if you're out at a new place, public land, whatever it is, don't keep calling as you're going at that bird. Because if you do that, I mean, that's how nature's supposed to work. The hens are supposed to go to him. He's thinking that hen's coming to him. That's why you notice we called, and then we wouldn't say nothing, and we'd cut the distance by 2/3 or more. And we were still 100, 150 yards from him, but cut the distance by 2/3 or more before we made another peep. And I think that's a mistake a lot of people make. Like, you don't want to keep walking towards him and calling. Like, you want to know where he's at. It's okay if you're quiet for 10 to 15 minutes, especially if it's a lone bird in the middle of the day. Like, don't be afraid to be quiet for 10 minutes. You're better off getting the better position and then calling instead of calling as you're going at him to continually know where he's at.
Right.
Because they're not going to move far fast unless they have a reason to.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the confusing thing was there were multiple turkeys there that were responding. Yeah. And we thought that, the tom that was the closest was the one walking away. And so, just being quiet and being patient, and there he was.
Yeah, luckily he gave us a courtesy gobble, because when he gobbled, we were just pointing different directions, like he's that way, because it was pretty windy, and we're like, no, he's this way, and then we're sitting there, and then all of a sudden, chuck, 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 chuck. I was like, no, he's right there, and he's within 80 yards, so I'm gonna go backwards. And Clayton sat down, and I ran up the hills, as fast as I could. I knew I had to get to a tree, and I think I only made one more call. And and then I could see him, and he was just working his way, up to us. And luckily, Clayton.
Oh, he hit that bench. Like I said, he's going to hit this bench, and he's going to walk around this bench looking for that hen. Like, if you can look at the terrain around you, you can tell where he's going to go and what path he's going to take on the terrain.
Yeah, he hit that bench, and that bench was within range, so that was a bad move.
Yeah. Now, conversely, if we had tried to get down to the bench, we probably would have blown that thing out.
Yeah, because the woods are fairly open. They're greening up more and more every day. But
Oh, it
That
was
was
way open.
that was opening week, and I forget how open your woods are, Clayton. Like versus where I'm at, because where I'm at it's thick. Like, and then big open woods, like you could see down to the drain and back up the other hillside. So
Oh yeah.
those turkeys can see if there's definitely if they got position on you. But like Byron was saying, the biggest thing is positioning on them, like getting in an advantageous spot. Like I mean, I say that, and I messed up this week earlier, and I make a call where I don't like to call unless I got somewhere to sit, you know what I mean, or somewhere to hide quickly. Because if they answer you and they're close,
Oh yeah.
you got to sit down, and
That's
that's
another
what
big
happened.
thing I do. Like if I'm trying to find a midday bird that's alone, or even if I had one that gobbled off in the distance and I cut the distance on him before I call, I look around. I'm like, all right, if I call and he's within 50 yards, where can I sit that I got cover? Like you don't want to just randomly call and then try to figure it out. Figure it out before you call, and then if he answers and he's close, it's all right, I already got my spot picked out. I'm sitting down right here. You're not going into panic mode and making a stupid decision and sitting up against a tree out where the sun's shining on you and highlighting you for that bird to see you.
Or laying on your belly like me. I just after like 3 hours of nothing, I was just walking down this logger road, just yelping, and then two of them like 35 yards away over the hill, just hammered. And I was like, uh-oh. And I didn't have nowhere to go. I just dove down, and then here I am, like they're just staring at me. They come walking up, and I mean, we're just looking at each other, and there's nothing I can do because they use their head just to peek over, right? They don't come over and look. They just use just a little boop, and they're like, oh,
Yeah.
there he is, right there, boop, gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this, Byron. So everyone knows your duck calling abilities. Running a diaphragm call, turkey hunting, what kind of similarities do you see there? I'm just curious. I'm not a duck hunter, so
Yeah.
I have no idea. And like, weren't you running like that? Your call was yellow. Was it one of those hunting public calls? One of those.
It was a Rolling Thunder
Gotcha.
Batwing matchmaker, I think. It's an older diaphragm. I'm not a huge turkey caller. I'm trying to pick up different tips, but I would say some of the similarities between turkey calling and duck calling is, it's the same it's almost the same air presentation that you're bringing up from your diaphragm, and just I guess tongue placement is probably, I guess the toughest thing to learn for turkey calling compared to duck calling. But I'm learning, picking up a few tips and tricks from you guys, and trying to get better. Listening to Dave Owens.
He's good.
Yeah.
I've heard some pretty terrible hens in the woods though, also. So it's like, you don't have to be perfect.
That's true.
I've heard some pretty bad ones.
Well, it's like if you're not good, if you don't have a lot of experience or a lot of time to practice, get you a pack of diaphragm calls that are easy to use, like Woodhaven, if I'm not mistaken. They're hunting public calls, I think, are more for, I don't want to say beginners, but less experienced callers. Doesn't matter if it the tone sounds bad, as long as it sounds close. It's more about when you call, not how you're calling.
And duck hunting is that. Duck hunting's a lot like that. When to call at them.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, Graham had one of those. He had a Woodhaven slate call that, man, it sounded phenomenal.
With that carbon, I think it was like a carbon tip or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounded good.
Yeah, dude, those things are nice. So, well, here's what Jay and I learned. Old Jaybird here has been a lace-up guy through and through on his boots.
I am guilty of that.
Yeah.
I about crapped myself when he said he put on a pair of rubber boots. So what was your thoughts there, Jay?
I wore them this morning, actually. Man, like, I'm not like, I usually hate rubber boots. I feel like they're hot. They don't, they're not comfortable as a lace-up boot. Their rubbers are usually heavier. But those Sheen boots with the zippers.
Hold on now. Say it right.
Oh yeah, the shin boots with the. I always mess it up.
He still does it every time.
Listen,
I've corrected him 50 times and he still messes it up.
We hear everything. Sheen, Chene.
I've been saying it wrong for a year now. I'm trying to break the habit. I didn't know it. I was like, oh, that's that Sheen gear. That stuff's pretty nice. But I put on them those boots. I had them here at the house, and I was checking them out. I was like, man, they're light, dude, and they're real. Like the rubber's soft. It's real
Yeah.
pliable. So it's not like a it doesn't fold, like it's nice. Like it molds to your foot. And it came with another pair of insoles. And I was looked in there, I was like, well, there's insoles in there. And I took those out because there was a little more room in there, and I put the other ones in, and because I'm only wearing a light sock, and then my foot fit in there perfect, man. So
Yeah.
that's a
Yeah.
game changer, man. There's like just changing with the seasons, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. The biggest reason why we add that extra insole is because, one, we don't really offer a ton of half sizes in our rubber boots. Now, with our new leather boot, our Grove boot that we just launched this year, we do offer half sizes in those. But, to accommodate for that extra room that you had in there, slide that other insole in there. It keeps your foot to the top of that boot. And, man, it's actually probably the most comfortable rubber boot that I've worn.
Yeah. It's definitely the most comfortable I've worn. It's like walking on, and the same with the Scout boot. It's like walking on air. Like there's something different. Like they're soft, man. They're really soft.
Yeah.
And I do appreciate it. And walking through the fields, you know what I mean? It keeps you.
That's why
That's
I
the
was
biggest
warm.
thing. Yeah,
Keep the dew off your pants, dude.
Yeah, if you're field hunting, it's like I was, and where them weeds were like they're about. I sent Clayton a video. They were about knee high.
Oh,
Yeah, there's nothing else to wear out there except unless you want wet pants because it rides all the way up your legs. But now it's nice and dry, man.
Yeah.
That's like I'm used to wearing pretty thin rubber boots, and I see the pictures online. I'm like, man, I don't know, those look awfully heavy. Like for some reason the rubber looked thick, and then I tried them on. I was like, all right, I'm in.
Yeah, they're slick boot, man. Especially, and then if you get hot, it's got that zipper.
I didn't even think about using the zipper for that.
Yeah, you just take the zipper down, like when you're walking, and it opens that boot up and lets that air out of there. That's another thing. Like usually it's just trapped and it gets, you sweat, so it's moist in there, and you take off your rubber boots, it looks like you just walked through water. When you take in things and unzip them, man, all that heat releases. It's nice. There's a science behind it. It's just not, they didn't just put that there for fun.
That's right. I mean, you've got people of all different sizes too, I mean, guys with bigger calves, and makes it easier for people to tuck their pants in their boots and then kind of zip it up from that side. And like you said, I mean, you can use it for a little airflow through there once it's hot and you want to cool off a little bit, use it for that. But no, to be able to walk 22,000 steps in a pair of rubber boots, that's pretty good. That's what Graham and I were talking about. You can't just wear anything on the market, rather than rubbing blisters on your feet and, having to walk through little creeks and things like that, man. It's
well, and then those hills. I mean,
yeah,
that's what those extra insoles are great, because instead of putting the pressure on your toes when you're going up and downhill, it's putting it on the top of your ankle.
That's right.
Yeah, it was. Those hills, 22,000 steps in those hills, to tell you something real quick about a pair of boots.
Yeah, I think I about walked half the property just in that first day.
Yeah, and then the other one, I didn't think about this. See, because Jay and I, we get stuck in our ways. It's like hunting out of saddles. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I don't think you'll catch Jay in a saddle. So we've done this enough that we get stuck in our ways. But we converted Jay on the rubber boots, which I've been trying to do forever. But then the other one he brought up, the leafy jacket.
Yeah,
I never thought about this. He's like, man, it's perfect when it's hot because I can wear a freaking T-shirt under it. I was like, dang, I never thought about that.
Yeah, it's all mesh, man. It's nice when it gets, because it's been hot the last couple of days. It's supposed to be 80 today. And yesterday I was out there messing around. I should have been mowing grass, but one gobbled and I got sidetracked for a couple hours. But it was hot, and I just threw that over my T-shirt. And man, that air was blowing through there. And another thing is, like, if you're like, I was down there working, as long as you have that leafy jacket in your truck and a shotgun, you're in the game, man. Like, you can wear a pair of khakis, you got or dark colored work pants or whatever you got on, and throw that jacket on. It'll go over anything.
Yeah.
And you just, you can get out there and go after them.
Yeah, see, that's like stuff I think about. Like, gear's been around forever, but you can use it in unconventional ways to your advantage.
Yeah. Or even on those cold days, the 60 series half zip. I mean, it was perfect for, that day that we hunted. Wind blowing
Oh yeah.
15, 20 mile an hour. Felt like it was about 30 degrees, especially at the baseball game there. But
Oh, dude,
it
it
was
was
cold.
freaking
Oh,
freezing,
I bet it was cold. I forgot y'all went to that game. Yeah, it was.
bro.
Ooh.
We had to buy extra sweatshirts. Oh,
I bet those.
$120 a pop.
I was gonna say, I
Oh
bet they're
my
cheap.
god. I was like,
Did you?
I have that. What's the that jacket I got? The
Over and under jacket.
Yeah, I had that at the cabin. I'm like, I'm an idiot. I should have just brought that with me, but I didn't, and I had to spend 120 bucks on a sweatshirt because I was like, dude, if I don't get a sweatshirt, I'm gonna die tonight.
I'm telling you.
What
Oh,
did you get the Skyline? Did you get to eat that?
That
oh,
was one of my goals when I was going to Cincinnati was go to Skyline Chili, and I never got me a chili dog from Skyline.
Well, you had a long drive the next day, so that's probably in your best interest.
That's
yeah,
probably and two, I think we were eating something a little bit better than some chili over there in the seats that we
yeah,
got.
just a wee bit.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, that,
I guess so. We're gonna put that as priority number one for the goose hunt in September. Is that what
yeah.
I'm hearing?
Yeah, let's do that.
Ooh, we got to eat it after.
We're gonna have to eat it between the goose and the doves, bud.
Yeah, dove season and goose season open the same. Well, Indiana's goose season
You're
opens
gonna be
up
hunting two
the
states, but yeah,
same time.
we can go goose hunt in the morning and dove hunt in the afternoon.
Yeah, you only go during that September season. You really only goose hunt till like 8:30. Like the first hour. It gets so hot they eat they fly at first light, which it's atypical of a Canada goose. Like typically in the regular season, they won't fly till 8:30 is usually like a good number to start at. But and when it's hot out in that early season, they'll fly as soon as it's shooting light. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like duck hunting. Right at first light, them ducks always roll.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're moving around, waking up. You already had some geese on one of your fields there. We've seen a couple, I guess they're residential geese kind of hanging
Oh
out.
yeah, those are the ones we're looking for.
That's right.
Yeah, they're just hopefully they get a good nest this year, but I don't know. I haven't seen any. I haven't seen any. Obviously, it's still early, but I haven't seen any goslings yet.
Yeah.
So are you done hunting for the year, turkey wise, Byron?
Well, I was talking about that this week. I'm good normally for about one a year for right now. It's exciting to me, but I don't like to burn a whole lot of my vacation up. And two, this is a pretty crucial point, in our company's career, and being at work and kind of growing where we're at. I think it's a little bit more important for me right now. But I think some of the guys are taking a few trips along the rest of the year, maybe Wyoming, somewhere out west. They're going pretty soon, and that'll be a good time for them. We used to my first year that I was here, we went to Texas. We went to Southwest Texas, and a funny story, man. We were all pumped up. We were all pumped up for this trip, and we thought it was a good idea to rent an RV. We're going to do some team bonding, keep the whole
Gosh.
team together, and looking into RVs. Because my previous job, I drove trucks for UPS, and I guess I got designated to driving the whole way there, and not really thinking about how flat Texas was and how hard the wind blows. We got this. It was just a pretty small size RV, and it was just a gas burner. It didn't have that real heavy axles on them. So once we hit that Texas line, buddy, it it was blowing us all over the place. I know that some of the guys were in the back trying to sleep. They were bouncing up and down and getting slung from one end of the RV to the other, and having to hold the steering wheel like this right here the whole way there. But we had a great time, man. And I don't know if you guys have had the opportunity to go. It's pretty neat out west there. It's real flat. It looks like a desert, and man, those Rios, they're something else. They get fired up.
Oh, they're dumber than a box of rocks. Like our farms are relatively good and easy for Easterns, well, that still doesn't hold a candle to most Rios. Those things, I mean, you can kill a pile of them in a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the water source is so limited out there. It's kind of like hunting over bait if you go hunt next to a pond or in any type of watering trough. I mean, they're going to go find their water source at some point during the day. So it was fun though.
That's like cheat codes in video games, man.
That's what it felt like. That's what
Yeah.
it felt like.
Yeah. So have you guys had like what else you guys got going on? Anything else big this spring? You guys getting anything else cool going?
I think the biggest thing is just kind of getting all of our content and stuff prepared for our turkey launch next year. I think that's the biggest goal, for this spring, getting ready for next spring, and also getting prepared for duck season. I think right now it's a slower time right now, but it's a great time for us to kind of prepare and start thinking about the next moves ahead.
Yeah. Are you allowed to talk anything about it, like the type of items you're going to have when you release that turkey gear, or is that still shh?
Well, I don't want to go.
You don't have to get to specifics, just like, we'll
detail.
have a top, a bottom, a pair of
We're going to
boots.
have everything. I think we're going to have everything a turkey hunter will need coming out next spring. We're going to launch it at the NWTF event in Nashville. So make sure you're there. We'll have items there. Typically at those events, we don't have a lot of items that people can walk away with. It's mostly pre-sale items, but I think this year or next year at NWTF, we're going to be able to kind of sell things there. So it'll be an exciting time for us. We're going to have a huge booth. I feel like our booth space grows every year. You guys, the customers, they just fill it up every time. I think, it's one of the most fun times during the year, but it's also one of the hardest times as a worker, having to talk and be on your feet for 13, 14 hours a day. And it's it's a strenuous time, but it's fun.
You gonna put Jay to work?
Yeah.
I'll volunteer his services.
Yeah. I'm a really hard worker.
Yeah. That was your first NWTF last year, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've just never, I don't know why. I've always thought about going, but
I'm in the same boat. That was my first one.
I never actually went. And I will tell you, like, I've been to a few shows, and that one, man, if you're just, they got everything there. Anything you can think of is at that one. Deer hunting, goose, ducks, turkeys, whatever. If you can hunt it, it's there.
Yeah.
So it's a cool thing. I mean, I'll definitely be going back next year. My wife even went, and she had a blast.
I'll tell you what I'm going to get. Every year I somehow end up getting sick. I'm going to get me a shin shield to put over my face when I'm talking to people.
Then you could sell those at a premium to all the vendors.
Oh, I know, man.
You could have a booth selling stuff to the booths.
Yeah. Oh, man. It's a fun time, though.
You can't hardly talk afterwards.
No, it's a lot. I'm sure he's exhausted.
Oh, yeah. I mean, by the last day, you're dragging. And then you have to load everything up. The work's not over. It's not over until you get back home to Memphis.
Yeah, I could see where that would be a very daunting task. Like, dang.
Yeah. Yeah, breaking down the booth. I mean, because it's putting it up. It doesn't take that long because everybody's excited. They want to get the booth set up how they like it. It's clean and organized and everything. By the end of it, it's just everything's everywhere. But
yeah, after I come through there and start taking everything off hangers and stuff, checking it out.
A little leprechaun.
Yeah, just in there. Causing them just mischief, man. Nothing but mischief.
Yeah, pretty much. You're good at that.
Yeah.
And also, we're going to have a big party next year, I think, just to celebrate the launch of turkey gear. So, you guys will definitely have to try to make it to that. We're still going to launch our new pieces. We're still going to have plenty of stock and everything that we have. And, we just launched a new product today.
What'd you launch today?
The boot, man.
Yeah.
The what?
Gosh, I'm on it.
Oh, I know. All right. Yeah, I've been seeing the post. Okay. I didn't even think about it. Well, that was the one we were standing in the booth and you guys had cut the boot of your wader off at the mid calf, and everyone would stop and look at it like it was a individual product for sale, but you were just trying to show what the boot off the wader looked like, and you're like, we need to make a product out of that, and thus here we are.
It's insane. I mean, every show and even in our stores, people will come in there like, hey, I want to buy this pair of boot, and it's just like, well, no, these boots are for you guys to try on. So when we're sizing customers for waders, they know the right boot size, so we can put them in the correct wader. And it's every show people want to buy that boot. So it was like, man, okay, this is what a customer wants, so let's give it to them. So it's a little beefed up, mid calf, rubber boot. It's just a little bit more, it's just a little bit beefier than our Scout boot. It's a little bit higher. It's got a same tread pattern as our wader does. So it's a really good piece, I would say, for anybody. If you're working in the spring, if you need just a little bit of extra room rather than a Scout boot, it's going to be just as easy to put on, but just as comfortable as our wader boot. So
y'all asked, and now they're giving it to you.
Yeah, that's right.
I directly remember you saying that at NWTF this year, and I started watching about every third person walking by, picking it up, looking at it. It's like, you can't buy that.
It's every time. I mean, we were like, man, we offer these awesome Scout boots or these awesome mid boots.
No, it's never good enough, dude.
No.
Oh, shoot.
People want that mid calf.
Yeah. Yep. So, well, I think we're about out of time here. I do appreciate you hopping on with us. I wanted to kind of recount that turkey hunt and talk about that a little bit because it was a blast. Crawfish boil, which we didn't even mention, that was pretty fun too. So, except somebody forgot to scrimp.
Yeah, that was a bad deal.
What'd you do with all those?
Well, they're sitting in my deep freeze and at my house. So
you got a lot of shrimp to eat, homie.
I guess we're gonna have a shrimp bowl at Chene here pretty soon.
Oh, shoot. All right, dude. Well, I appreciate your time, Byron. We will catch up, and I'm looking forward to I guess I've never goose hunted before, so I don't know what I'm looking forward to. But I'm looking forward to going hunting in September with you. How about that?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get you guys to Arkansas this year, too.
Go shoot some greenheads.
That's right.
Jay's not going to know what to do. It's going to be too easy compared to what he's used to.
I just want to see them.
Yeah.
I just want to see some.
I don't know about easy, but it'll be exciting.
That's why I said compared to what he's used to.
Yeah. I just want to go on the boat ride, really.
Oh, man. It's fun.
Yeah. Oh, I bet.
So, all right. Thank you, buddy. We'll let you get back to your day. Keep those customers happy, dude.
That's right. All right. Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks, Byron.
Thanks, Byron.
Trip up there next time.
Yep. See ya.
See you, buddy.
Bye. Oh, wait. I see you in May.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Here coming pretty soon.
Uh-huh.
Another baseball game.
That's right. Yep.
All right.
All right. We'll see y'all.
See you guys.